I've always, for as long as I can remember, have identified as transgender. And I haven't had the sex change. I don't plan on having a sex change. I plan on continuing to further my education in spirituality and in the Kundalini awakening process. I find greater inner peace by focusing on soul work, karmic work, ascension work, as opposed to focusing on my body and gender. I think that sex changes can be awesome for some people, but just like with anything else in the world, what works for one person doesn't always work for the next. You know, and because you're transgender doesn't mean that you have to have a sex change. There are people out there that believe that, but there are also people that believe all sorts of stuff. Like I was saying before, you have to stay true to your own beliefs and your truths, because what's true for you is true for you, and what's true for someone else is going to be true for them. We don't all think the same. We don't all have the same views, and we all as human beings get upset when people don't agree with us. And we have to learn how to not take that personally, because that is about them. Them not agreeing with your viewpoint or the way you live your life, that's a reflection of their beliefs. It has nothing to do with your beliefs. It gets a little confusing, but once you start to embrace these ideas and these concepts and all these things, it makes life a lot easier, as we are so conditioned in this fear-based reality in the schools that we've been brought up and everything in this society, in this very sick society. It's very fear-based, and we're all very worried about what other people think or how we look and how we act. And there's a big freedom in letting all of that go and living in a truth that makes you happy and content with yourself. If you feel good about what you're doing every day, then I believe you're on the right path. I mean, sometimes you could still stand to change things. Nothing's ever perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. But when you're overall happy every day and you feel that you're providing good into this world and you're living your truth, then you're doing a damn good job. I spent many years living in very low vibrational energies of shame and guilt and anger and fear, drinking every day hard liquor. I should mention that, because drinking water every day is extremely important. Drinking hard liquor every day for me, I was constantly living in shame. And that is a very dangerous, toxic thing to do to yourself. It's a cycle, it's a paradigm. And when I finally broke free of that, it's been 7 years now, I can clearly see how staying true to myself has completely changed my life. By doing what's best for me and my health, it's just been eye-opening and a whole game changer. When I go and I play my musical gig, that's what I do. I'm a professional musician, singer, songwriter, more so singer. Anyway, when I go to do my gigs and I focus on the music and I focus on projecting good, happy, positive emotions to the audience, and I don't focus on how drunk am I going to get at this gig, it's a complete game changer. People come over and they say, "Oh, I just felt so good and when you sang that." I was purposefully focusing on projecting good vibes when I sing the songs, as opposed to just obsessing over, "Oh my God, do I have all the drinks I need? I got to get drunk. I'm nervous. I got to get drunk." Those are the experiences that I've personally have noticed. Not everybody's an alcoholic. Not everybody's a musician. I'm coming from my own personal life. I can tell a difference. What we focus on, we become. It's just like what we are, what we eat. What we eat, what we focus on, what we put our energy into grows. So when I put my energy into creating a positive, happy, entertaining vibe, when I go to perform these shows and I play guitar and I sing for people, then that's the best I can do, is put out those good vibes. If I'm having a really bad day, I got to sit and meditate with myself and pray to get into a better mindset, because the last thing I want to do is be focused on a bunch of victim-like stuff and be mad and then go toxically spew that energy out on people when I sing. That's, you know, like that's no good either. When you're up there on stage and you're singing and you're just so depressed, I mean, people can feel that. And when they're coming there for some good vibes and to have some drinks and dinner and feel good, they don't want somebody who's depressed and angry and sad. So again, it's about focus. What are we focusing on? That grows. I'm not saying don't ever be mad. You're going to be mad. I mean, I get mad. I get very mad. I get depressed and get stuck on stuff that doesn't matter. We're human. Again, spirituality is not about being happy 24/7, but it's about taking care of yourself and learning to let things that aren't serving you go. Old beliefs, thoughts, people, relationships. If something doesn't feel right in your gut and it's toxic, then it's time to let it go. For me, the whole construct of gender and focusing on, am I male, am I female, it's gotten to be completely ridiculous to me, because I've experienced both. I'm constantly, people think I'm a boy or then they think I'm a girl. I'm, you know, it's one or the other. So it's like I've experienced so much from both ends of sexism too. And that's why even more I'm going to stand up to my belief that gender is a made-up construct. People get so like hyper-focused on, is it a boy or a girl? There's a huge gray area when it comes to gender. You know, we've been taught to believe that boys dress a certain way and girls dress a certain way. This hasn't always been like this. You know, we're talking like probably the past 200 years. Like, we have to go back further than that. I mean, there were tribes that all wore like the same clothes. It's like we get so hyper-focused on these labels. Labels should be used as tools. Labels are great tools, but labels do not define who I am as a human being. It has opened my eyes to just the whole plethora of gender that's out there. I just encourage you to be yourself, regardless of what anyone thinks, even if it's somebody close to you. Be yourself. Live in authenticity, because people can tell when you're living an authentic life. People can tell when you're just being true to yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. People love that energy. They want to be a part of that. Everybody wants to feel comfortable in their own skin, whether you're non-binary, gay, lesbian, straight. It doesn't matter. All those are just labels again, right? There's something beautiful about somebody who finds the courage to live in their truth and be themselves. So I encourage you to live in that courage and be yourself and be happy, because you're only here on this planet for X amount of years. So live it to the most. Live it the best kind of life you can. Live in the now, appreciate the now, appreciate what you have in front of you right now. Instead of focusing on things you don't have, focus on what you do have, and the universe will send you more to be grateful for. Namaste and love, everyone. Much light.